Hi guys, today we're going to only be looking at lesson 2, adding and subtracting radicals. And adding and subtracting radicals is very much like the idea of combining like terms. So if you think of basic expressions like 4x, let's try that again, 4x being added with 2x, that gives you 6x. Well, radicals work the same way. If you added 4 radical 3 plus 2 radical 3, you would add the coefficients, just like you do with algebraic expressions, and your result would be 6 radical 3. So the radical kind of works like a variable, like an x, and you can't add unlike terms, so you can't add or subtract. If I gave you like 4 radical 3 plus 5 radical 2, this is a binomial. And it can't be added or subtracted, can't be combined, because they don't have the same number under the radical. So you need the number under the radical symbol to match, just like you would need like an x to match. You can't add an x with a y. Okay, it's the same exact concept. So in order to add, you have to always make sure that your radicals are simplified. So for example, let me switch over to example 1. If I asked you to simplify 5 radical 3 plus the square root of 27, and I use those words interchangeably, radical and square root. If you're asked to simplify that, you have to first take a look at whether every radical has been simplified completely. And the square root of 27 can be simplified. So in order to see if perhaps maybe you can add these, you simplify this. So square root of 27 is really the square root of 9 times 3. I'm trying to find a perfect square that goes into 27. Square root of 9 I'm going to take out, that's 3. So this is really 3 radical 3, the square root of 27. So in fact, I can add these. They are like terms because they both are being multiplied by the square root of 3. They're both radical 3. So 5 radical 3 and 3 radical 3 is 8 radical 3. Okay, and then another example we'll do is the square root of 18 plus 2 radical 3 minus the square root of 8. So I'm going to try to simplify all my radicals as much as I can. The square root of 18 is really the square root of 9 times 2. I'm going to take out the square root of 9, which is 3, so that's 3 radical 2. I'm going to bring down the 2 radical 3. That can't be simplified. But the square root of 8 can be simplified because 4 goes into it. So 4 times 2, square root of 4 is 2. That's really minus 2 radical 2. And then I look through to see which ones are like terms. The 3 radical 2 can be combined with the minus 2 radical 2. And that's going to produce 1 radical 2 or just radical 2. So whenever there's a 1, kind of like 1x, you don't write 1x, you just write x. 1 times the square root of 2, you just write the square root of 2. And then this plus 2 radical 3 comes down, it's an unlike term, and your answer is going to be a binomial. All right, so the ones you guys are going to work on tonight are very similar to this, just basically combining like terms and simplifying the radicals. Okay, thanks.